This is Dr. Alex bidding the final salute to the chief kingdom ambassadors of our times, Doctors Myles and Mom Ruth Munroe and Dr. Richard Pinder, including all those that were in that plane with them. We at the Kingdom Embassy in Africa are joining all other ambassadors of the Kingdom of Heaven from all over the world in bidding our final salute to our mentors, to our parents, to our teachers, to our leaders on this week when the entire world is coming together for the final celebration. Just a couple of weeks ago, Dr. Munroe and Mom Ruth were right here at this very soil, at this very place here in the continent of Africa, South Africa, the city of Centurion, at the embassy. They were right here. They planted trees when they were here. This was not just a service, but in fact, it was celebration of a prophetic word that they had spoken to us. They had said, by this time next year, you as the embassy will have your own place. And indeed, it was fulfilled exactly as they had said. So they came and planted trees with us to celebrate the fulfillment of a prophetic word. They had also said, you, Alex, will build an organization that will control the marketplace. So when they came this year, a few weeks ago, they planted a fruit tree to celebrate the launching of that NGO, the Global Economic Fraternal, which is geared to do exactly what they said, to control the marketplace with products, with services, and also have a Kingdom Bank. I want to say, on behalf of the Kingdom Embassy, to our brother Myles Jr. and our sister Charissa, who have been a couple of times here at the embassy, we are continuing to pray with you. We will continue to support you. And to all the families of the other people who were in that plane, including the church in the Bahamas and all organizations that the Munroe started, and also the Aitwala globally, and in particular in South Africa, we will continue to pray with you, including the CEO of Aitwala here in South Africa, our very dear brother and friend, Mr. Charlie Masala, and his wife. I just want to say, Dr. Munroe taught us many things, but on this final salute, a few of those thoughts come to mind. He said once to me, Alex, there is a way to handle tragedy. He said you must learn to enter God's rest. He says you enter that by embracing life as a mystery. In that, he said, in life, there are questions you cannot answer. There are things you cannot explain. There are things you cannot stop. There are things you cannot change, he said. There are things you cannot control. There are things you cannot go beyond. And there are things you are not responsible for. He said when you learn to accept life as a mystery, you will enter into God's rest. On this week, when the whole world pays the final salute, we want to remember many of the teachings that he brought to us. He said, after all, he said, your value in life is not in its duration, but it is in its donation. He said it's not how long you live, but it's how effective you live. There are many such lessons that he left with us. He said, your greatness as a leader is judged and measured by what happens after you leave. We want to say, as we pay this salute, now that the Munroes are back home, have been recalled, back with the Father, back with the King that they taught us so much about, we want to say we will show the world that they deposited so much in our lives, personally, privately, publicly, that we will keep their legacy alive. We will make sure, as the Kingdom Embassy all over the world, that the message of the kingdom grows even larger. As a matter of fact, this year, 2014, for us it was an experience. They came twice to this very soil here, twice in a space of 2 months, giving us, what I call the double portion experience. It was such an experience, as if they were saying, we want to give you that Elisha experience. So we will make sure we are committing to taking forward the mantle, to taking forward the baton. But something came to my mind when I think about mantles and baton. You see, the ordinary leader, I want to show you this, the ordinary leader, they hand their baton to a single individual. The whole world can identify and say, that's the individual that took the baton. But when I thought about Dr. Munroe, it looked to me that God did something beyond the ordinary leader. When I think about what happened on that Sunday evening, it looked to me like God said to Dr. Munroe, I will gather all the people that had connected with you. I will place them together in one venue. Then I will bring you to that venue. But instead of you coming to them in person, I will take your mantle, your baton, and almost like split it into so many pieces. Break that baton down and throw it to where they are and say to them, whoever is willing, let them take that baton. So this baton has moved throughout the world, in all nations of the world. It's a specially different way of handing over, of passing it on. We salute the gift that God had given us. As the embassy, we say thank you for who they were, for who they are. We will take the message forward. Like the Apostle Paul says to his own mentees, the things you heard from me, the things you learned from me, the things you saw in me, practice those things. We take the same word and we say we will practice this thing. Yes, as the Kingdom Embassy, we salute them. It is almost like that last hug that Dr. Munroe gave us as he left here. He touched us just like he touched many, many people all over the world. We will take the message forward.